Tonight on Podcast Them Down, we find out which MLB team that's probably named after a bird is the most metal. Hail, Metal Nation! You're listening to Podcast Them Down, where we objectively rain our metal judgments down onto various subjects. This time, we are doing Major League Baseball. I'm Tim, but you already knew that. Joining me is Dave, Doug, and Matt, and you know all them too because you listen to all the other sports Metalness assignments. So I was making a technical adjustment here. See, I don't know how Don Geronimo ever did it. You know, running the board and talking.
That was clear as crystal to me.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, this is going great.
We watched the other sports, all of them, sports ball, stick puck.
Oh, shut up. No, what we did before was we rated the metalness of both the NFL and the NHL. And now we're here to do MLB. As you know, one of the storied leagues, sports in America. So there has been plenty of time for all of these teams to accrue their metal cred and project them metal image. I'm doing all the fucking heavy lifting.
I mean,
That's right.
Yeah, you are.
We're all very
all right,
excited.
fine. None of you are excited. None of you care. So I'm just gonna drive this fucking bus into a wall. So
No way, man. I'm butt-sized, and if I know America,
you're butt-sized?
America loves baseball.
Yeah. The problem is, Tim, you're saying things that don't need to be said.
Yeah.
Like, we're 2 steps ahead of you here.
Exactly.
Like, let's get to the scoring.
If you think, do we need to explain the scoring? Is that
I think we do, because it's been quite
if
a
you're
while.
2 steps ahead of me and I'm saying stuff that doesn't need to be said, why am I explaining the scoring?
Because the audience we're 2 steps ahead of you, and you're 1 step ahead of the audience. So they're already 3 steps behind.
So you're in a lose-lose situation here.
Exactly.
But you got no choice but to keep going.
Okay, well,
Here I am sitting feeling like one of the poor audience.
We're gonna. All right, so you two are 2 steps ahead of me. I'm a step ahead of.
Yep.
I'm 1 step ahead of the audience. Where does Dave fall into that?
Dave is
Half a step behind Tim.
yeah.
Half a step. So you're only half a step ahead of the listeners.
I say I'm a particularly clever twatcher.
Yeah, that seems about right, actually.
Okay. Well, the scoring, we're each going to rate the metalness of a team from 0 to 10 based on the team's city and their name and possibly other factors. It's very important to know that this is all objective and correct and
hella
irrefutable.
objective.
So we're going to take the average of our objective, correct, accurate scores, and that's going to be the score for the team, and then we'll rank the teams across both leagues and eventually determine, give you a ranking of how metal each team is. Do you have any predictions?
Well, before that,
No, not before that.
the ultimate objective.
No,
is
you're
to
2 steps
determine-
ahead of me. You're supposed to be after that.
Okay. Well, as I just said, the ultimate objective is to determine what the absolute medalist franchise in all of professional sports is.
Oh yeah,
Not just
we have, because our perfect rating system allows us to compare leagues across
right.
sports.
Exactly. I mean, so, and then not only that, but we can compare conferences. Like, have you ever wondered what was more metal? The American League, the AFC, or the Bundesliga? One day, we would be able to tell you like that.
Yep.
Not today, though.
Not today.
But one
We're
day.
working on it. This is we should really be getting a grant from the government, I think.
From sports?
No, from the government.
Okay.
This is the American pastime. Or so they say.
It's true. If we're going to have congressional hearings about the PSI of balls,
right? No, that's very true.
We should be getting some of those resources in order to determine the metalness of these leagues.
But you are right. We do need some congressional healing.
Or a sports gambling firm.
Yeah, you know what? We should be getting grants from the U.S. government, from DraftKings, and
Not a sponsor
UNESCO.
yet.
Not a sponsor yet.
And UNESCO.
And UNESCO. Because I mean, this is intangible human heritage, if I've ever heard of it.
And how about a generous donation from Kevin Costner?
Yeah. I mean, he's been in baseball movies and football movies. At Tin Cup, he played golf. I'm not sure how we're going to rank the Metalness of golf, but we'll get there at some point.
Yeah, I feel like Arnold Palmer is going to score low because who gives a fuck about tea and lemonade?
I mean, that's the Metalist way to drink lemonade. So actually, I think it's going to be pretty hard.
So as a step and a half behind Matthew, I need to ask, what is our scoring?
Great
It's 0
question.
to 10. 0 being not metal and 10 being ultra metal as fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Okay.
if it's between 3 and 7, you don't have to justify your answer.
So 10 will be like the extra inning of metalness.
Yeah, sure.
That's how I'm going to think about it, and that's how I encourage people to think about it as well.
Think of it as a game so metal that after 9 innings it's tied.
Okay.
You know, I could have gone to see the Orioles today.
Well, maybe you'll rank them.
Well, we won't know that until we know what league we're doing first.
Yeah.
Oh, well, perfect segue. Let us choose whether, so we got to do this in 2 parts. So let us choose between the American League and the National League. Matt, do you have that coin handy still?
You know, I was just looking for that.
That's a no.
Now,
That's
I
what
want to
a
be
no
clear.
sounds like.
To long-term fans of the show, I am in no way abdicating any part of my involvement in today's completely objective proceedings. Just because the coin is coming out does not mean that the coin is assuming proxy voting duties or responsibilities or privileges for me.
As it has in the past.
I put the coin somewhere really safe, and I'm not sure where it was.
Okay, I got a fade to black pick. All right. So, fade to black is probably located closest
I found the coin.
to an American League team. So, fade to black will be American League, and not fade to black. The other side will be the National League, and you will flip your coin as well.
Okay.
And that way we'll come to a consensus.
Okay.
All right, ready?
All right.
3, 2.
1.
No, I'm counting down.
Okay, sorry.
3, 2, 1.
1,
Flip.
2, 3.
No. What do you got?
I got the state of Maryland, which to me means that we do the American League because there's a Maryland team in the American League.
All right, it landed on my keyboard here, and I got not fade to black, which would be the National League, but I can still see, just like you can see Nats Park from Camden Yards.
Okay.
You can still see the fade to black logo. So
Yeah.
so it's in. We're doing the American League first.
American League
boy.
first. All right.
Oh, this is great.
Okay. All right, let's just dive right in. Tampa Bay Rays. Who's going first? I will go first. Many great bands came out of Tampa. Tampa is a metal city. It's also, one of the most lightning-centric cities in the United States. And Rays are what murdered Steve Irwin. So that's also metal.
Ooh.
But Rays are also like at the touch tank at the aquarium,
Yeah.
And
so
if
how
you
metal
look at
can
the
they be?
logo,
What's that?
if you look at the logo, there's a ray of sun coming out
boo.
of it too.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of wasted potential, so I'm going to give them an even 5. They could have been metal, but they blew it.
Okay.
For very different reasons, I'm going to go with 5, and I'm not going to justify that.
I'm going to have to give them a 3 for the only reason that they used to be the Devil Rays. And I think that little tiny devil made a lot of difference. So that's a 3 for old Mateo there.
Is cowardice metal or not these days?
Well, it's interesting because it harkens back to the glory days of the 1980s when every Dungeons and Dragons meetup was a satanic mass waiting to happen, and the Florida death metal bands were in their I guess you'd say nascent and formative years. But Matt, good point on that. That is exactly what I was going to say. They were once the Devil Rays, which is way more metal than just the regular Rays. I'm going to give them a 4 though, because I like the added danger. Because if what Tim says is true, playing in the Devil Rays Stadium is the most risky possible prospect for a summer baseball player. Could be
Say
struck
more
by lightning at any moment.
Okay.
No aluminum bats there.
None.
What's your score? Did you score?
Goddamn. My 4 is my score.
All right, next.
4.
New York Yankees. I'll go. The New York attitude is legendary for its arrogance and the lack of tolerance or patience, I suppose. And those are very metal attributes. Yankees, the name, not very metal. I don't care. But their owner, George Steinbrenner, is a fucking nutcase. Is he still their owner? Well, even he's got to be old as fuck if he is. I don't know.
I think he might be dead.
He might be dead, but who cares? But when he was alive, I hope you're furiously Googling this.
George Steinbrenner died in 2010.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's the last time Dave bought any new albums anyway, so it works. But yeah, he had a bunch of arbitrary rules and with draconian enforcement thereof. However, there's just nothing metal about a Yankee, so I'm going to go with 5 again.
Yeah, the Yankees. Sorry, Matt. Looks like you have something there.
No, go ahead. I need to formulate my thought here.
I mean, I'll say as a Southerner, I disagree with Tim's assertion. The Yankees are unfortunately very metal.
Point of order. The current owner of the New York Yankees is a Steinbrenner.
Yeah, but not George.
Yeah, but we'll just assume he's just as insane.
The Yankees make up something like 40% of merch sales.
Hmm.
Their logo is ubiquitous.
Mm-hmm.
They've stuck with the same logo forever, which is very metal.
I was about to say, so they're like the Metallica of baseball, but Metallica kept changing their logos. So.
The AC/DC of baseball, like, it's that simple and constant.
I think the Giants would be the Metallica of baseball.
The Giants. Oh. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Not to jump ahead, but they relocated to the Bay Area. Metallica. Do they do Metallica Night? They haven't changed their logo. It's a good argument that we'll revisit.
We'll get there.
I'm going to give him an 8.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I have to agree with Doug here. We talked about merchandising. We talked about incessantly bringing up history. Like their fans are insufferable. If you don't know
yes,
every minute point of Yankees trivia, you'll be said all kinds of words that we can't say on a podcast. Their logo. Now, I feel like their logo is much more appropriated in hip hop if we're going to pick a musical form, but I feel like that's not that different from kind of these like modern rappers wearing like Iron Maiden t-shirts. It's so metal that it's been like appropriated by other
this is
genres.
a different episode, but I don't understand why people are upset by that. just shut up and let them wear an Iron Maiden shirt. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. No one cares. That's a whole episode.
Let them wear the New York Yankees hat. I didn't consider the ludicrous amount of money that they spend on their players. They throw money at the problem.
They throw money at the problem,
and often it doesn't often work out. So that's worth another point from me. So I'm gonna go up to 6.
They treat their fans like garbage, and it only makes them love them more.
Oh, 6.5.
Yeah, I mean, I hate, I hate the Giants. I mean, whatever the fuck these guys are, the Yankees. I think, I think, the only non-metal thing I think about the Yankees is their weird actual logo versus their cap insignia with the like ball, stick, and hat motif. That's not metal. If they had those on their hats, it's a whole different ball game, so to speak.
Oh, that thing. Yeah. So
When did
it's
they
like an
last
Uncle
use
Sam.
that?
It's like an Uncle Sam top hat.
Yeah, I'm sure. It was like on some sweater they made in 1962.
Yeah. The most recent, I guess they never rescinded it, but they stopped using it, and that's pretty metal.
Yeah.
Wow, there's a whole Wikipedia page on the the logo.
On nothing but the Yankees logo.
Thanks again to their insufferable fan base. Mm-hmm. Hey, did you know George Steinbrenner died? That's what it's saying here.
Wow. Tragic.
He just travels slowly down south.
You guys have raised some fantastic points here.
Shut up and give me a number.
4. Again, because the Yankees are nothing if not baseball establishment, and there's nothing less metal than the establishment. They were the featured villains in a musical theater production. Unless it's King Diamond doing it, I don't think musical theater is very metal either.
As we're working our way through the AL East, this is like the division I pay attention to the most because it has multiple teams I like in it, and it has the Rays. All right, let us move on to the Yankees' rival, the Boston Red Sox. Our Bostonians, totally undeserved arrogance about their town, just like New York. But Bostonians seem to like have a chip on their shoulder because they're not New York. They're like, we're just as good, So just as insufferable. Their ballpark's weird with the green monster, and it is pretty metal that they embrace it instead of complain about it, and then complain about it as well.
Yeah.
The seats at Fenway are too small, so everyone there is miserable.
Yep.
So that's also metal. So I'm going to have to give them the same rating at the moment as the Yankees. Also keeping in mind that they had didn't they have the Babe Ruth curse? Being cursed is metal.
Yeah.
So being cursed is metal, and then being so arrogant even though they hadn't won a World Series in forever. Yeah. I think that brings them up to the same level of metalness as the Yankees. So 6.5.
Okay, here's why you're wrong. Number one, no one likes the Red Sox except Red Sox fans. I don't see Boston hats anywhere except on Bostonians and people who have some weird tie to Boston. They're cursed.
Socks are not metal, by the way.
Socks are not metal.
I know that that goes without saying, but I now went with saying. So
socks are not metal. Sweet Caroline, not metal. I feel like the Red Sox, if the Yankees are metal, the Red Sox are like bluegrass. Like people are annoying like and nitpicky.
Racist bluegrass.
Racist. Well, yeah, racist bluegrass. People are nitpicky.
Synonymous.
No. Nitpicky and annoying and trivia based in bluegrass. However, even people who don't like metal will wake up and listen to one and get pumped the fuck up. No one who doesn't like bluegrass will listen to a bluegrass song and do anything except go, okay. And that's why they're a 3 for me.
You make a persuasive argument, so I'm going to alter my objective score down to 5.5.
I do not bend with the wind. I'm going to give him a 7. But I'm going to lower my Rays score to 2 because I've really been simmering over that Devil Rays thing.
I forgot about the rampant revisionism of our objective scores.
No, well, with more data, comes refined results.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm just marveling, really just in awe at Doug's just fortitude and constancy. Not bending like the wind and yet being able to reevaluate. That's truly impressive. Here's another number for you. It's going to be another 4 from me because when I see the Boston Red Sox logo, the first thing I think of is stinky socks, which makes me
that could be metal though. If they weren't bright red. Well, maybe it depends why they're red.
Man. And didn't Kurt Schilling have like that ankle thing that year that they won too? Like bleeding on the mound in the last game.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's pretty metal.
It was pretty metal. All right, I'm gonna
auto completes to Kurt Schilling bloody sock.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to revise my perfectly objective score up to a 5 because I'd forgotten about the bloody sock.
All right, moving right along.
All right.
The first of many birds, the Toronto Blue Jays.
Wait. What did Dave give it? A 5?
Gets a 5.
Okay.
Boston Red Sox.
I forgot that Dave is locked out of the spreadsheet, so I have to enter his.
Yeah, and just to clarify for the listeners, that's not because like Dave can't enter things, but because Tim made the spreadsheet on a night Dave wasn't here.
Yeah.
And this is his eternal punishment.
That's right. and what to all the listeners out there, what the rest of the guys on the podcast don't realize is that I don't want to be entering these numbers anyway. So don't tell them.
Hey, did you guys just hear something?
All right. Toronto Blue Jays. There's 3 words in that: Toronto, Blue, and Jay, and not a single one of those are metal. I like the team. I like that whole Bautista thing that happened recently. Everyone's all butthurt about it.
Butthurt.
Yeah, butthurt and butt-sized if you're a Blue Jays fan. So their caps have what appears to be the decapitated head of a Blue Jay. So that could be considered metal, but you know, all the teams named after birds also have decapitated heads, so there's nothing that makes them more metal than any of the other bird teams. Yeah, so it's very vanilla. So I'm gonna put it down there with 3. There's room for them to be less metal. But their metalness comes from their play and not from anything else, I think.
I have a grievance with the Canadian maple leaf symbol being placed right there.
I kind of like how they do it. They're like, because they're the only Canadian team that competes in the World Series. What's that?
I don't think Canadians are stupid. I think they know that the team is Canadian.
I think they're trying to educate all the dumb Americans.
Toronto is in Canada.
It is. It is in Canada. That's true. I was thinking that the placement of the maple leaf almost, if you view the negative space to the right of the Blue Jay where its body would be on its decapitated head, if you imagine that negative space as Lake Ontario, the leaf is basically where Toronto is on that northwestern shore of the lake. But it does and then I was like, oh, maybe the body is like the province of Ontario. No, the head is not shaped like Ontario at all.
That looks to me like Mississauga, but
close enough.
That's a fair argument. That could also be Mississauga. We could go further and say it's Oshawa as well, but definitely not Hamilton.
Not Hamilton.
Man, I remember in the early 90s.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, this is going to talk about the time he saw fish in Toronto.
Yeah.
I've never seen fish internationally, unfortunately. But
yet.
The Blue Jays, yet. They're playing Toronto this summer, but we're not going to make it.
Do you want to go?
Oh, sorry.
Would go.
Oh, I'm sorry, said my wife. Can't make it.
Can't
cross the border.
I should add some Borat to the soundboard.
So the Blue Jays were a dominant team in the 90s. And they always intimidated me as a young Orioles fan. They were a different color scheme, bunch of foreign, big hitting, indoor playing baseball AstroTurf birds.
I didn't mention that their field, they have grass between the bases. I always like that.
God, I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Classy touch. Yeah.
Go on.
And so for those reasons, I'm going to give the Jays a 6.
Wow.
Yeah. AstroTurf, man.
Awfully generous.
Rough on the body. It's punishing on other teams when you got to play inside a dome.
That's true. It's very true.
Toronto's a beautiful place full of friendly people, which is why it's not that metal. The team, they lose. No one really cares.
It's just something to do until the Leafs start playing again.
Yeah. So there are 3.
I've been sitting here trying to find a way to justify scoring the Jays higher. Blue Jays are basically Blue Crows, which I think is, that's pretty metal. Having spent some time in Toronto, I can tell you that even though in isolation, the Blue Jays logo doesn't look all that intimidating, when there's like 10 people walking towards you, especially in a black baseball hat with the Blue Jays logo, it looks kind of cool. They're middle of the road. They're better than the Rays. They're not that much better than the Rays. I'm gonna give them a 4.
Give the Rays. You gave the Rays a 3. It's okay. All right. Yeah. Finishing up the American League East, your Baltimore Orioles. So I looked up the range of the Baltimore Oriole.
Okay.
You know how like the Venus flytrap is from like one tiny area of North Carolina?
I'm pretty sure it's from Venus there, Timothy.
Well, I looked up Baltimore Oriole and what their range is, and their breeding range covers out to like Tornado Alley, like the Dakotas, and into Manitoba, and as far west as Alberta, and as far northeast as what is that, New Brunswick?
Lord.
Yeah, so I like that they're called the Baltimore Orioles, yet you can find them all over the fucking place. And then in the winter, apparently they go to Florida and Central America.
Yeah, they live in goddamn Panama.
So, but they have all the shortcomings of a team named after a bird. They did have the Iron Man Cal Ripken, who basically just like, he's the Iron Man because he showed up to a lot of games. And that's kind of like Anvil or what's another band that just never stopped? They just keep coming, I got nothing. Nothing. I know. No, I was going to say
Scorpions. Sorry.
Scorpions is good.
Fans.
I was going to say Overkill. They just keep coming back and no one really cares.
I care.
So, well, hello from the gutter to you.
We've been expecting you.
So, and the main team logo is like a cartoony bird, and cartoons aren't
Don't
really
make fun of the rubber ducky.
Yeah, they call it the rubber ducky. So, for all these reasons, I don't think I can score it very well, other than the whole bird thing. Maybe slightly higher than the Blue Jays. Baltimore is a more metal town anyway. Maryland Death Fest. I mean, come on. So,
yeah.
I'm going to give it 3.5.
Matt, I'm just furious. Are you going to weigh into Tim, or do I need to?
I think you should, Doug.
That was bluster.
Oh, fuck.
Well, hold on. First of all, Tim's point about the Orioles' range. That's how Baltimore is. We don't have anything except if we say we do, loud and a lot. We were a city of commerce. They give it and they take it from us. And the Orioles are ours.
And yeah, it's a port city.
Yeah. And it's the people are friendly. It's also very violent. Two very metal things. Mm-hmm. Well,
you just said Toronto was friendly.
Yeah, but Toronto's not very violent.
They lack the crucial element of violence.
Yeah, friendly violence.
Right. Don't forget the Squeegee Boys.
There isn't a menacing
Toronto. You give them the $2. That's how it works, and drive on. I don't see what all this discussion's about. It's how it is.
So where does that put your score then?
At a 7.
Wow.
Okay. I think I'm somewhere in between Tim and Doug here. Number one, I do think that if they maintain the full body bird logo,
which is my preferred logo, by the way,
much more metal. I do appreciate though that the cartoon bird is wearing a hat that says O's. So the bird itself doesn't even like the bird on its hat. That's pretty metal.
Wait, do you mean this hat?
Yeah, that hat. I don't like the apostrophe in the O's there. It should just be O without an apostrophe. But bad.
Are you talking about my O?
Yeah, bad spelling is pretty metal.
I just want to point out real quick that Ballmer went with the team that works great with the Ballmer accent.
Dem
O's.
Go O's. That's a good choice.
I forgot about what they do during the anthem.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to bring this up.
Yeah, I'll let you bring it up.
No, You want to know why the Baltimore Orioles are metal? Because they fucking took the anthem of our country and added team.
Which occurred in Baltimore.
In
the
Baltimore.
Star-Spangled Banner is about the Battle of Fort McHenry in Baltimore. These are great points. I'm gonna add 2 points, so I'm at 5.5. I want you to finish your thought.
So they took our Baltimore-themed national anthem and, for no reason except vanity, included a shout out to the team in the culminating verse about the land of the free and the home of the brave. That's at least worth a solid 6 in my book.
Yeah, and we got them people in Philadelphia and Washington to steal it from us too.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing worse than going to a Nationals game or, God forbid, an Eagles game and hear the game. Oh, I'm like, what are you doing?
I can't stand what the Caps do. Since the Washington Capitals hockey team wears red during and the Rockets red glare. They all scream red, and it's a fucking poser move.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're trying to fight back terribly, I might add, and all them O's fans coming down I-95 to go watch some hockey.
Which drives me nuts, because as a person who was born closer to the district than to Baltimore...
I just noticed he said closer.
I didn't have a baseball team besides the O's back when I was growing up. There were no Senators. There were no Nationals. So... it spilled into DC because we didn't have a baseball team to root for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's when they put the Maryland across the jersey.
Yeah.
But the thing, Capitals, deep down, nobody likes the Capitals. That's what makes it even more painful and funny.
Really?
Yeah. They have things down there. We don't up here.
This is amazing. Oh, wait. Fuck. Shit. I have to upgrade to a 7 because I just remembered Earl Weaver exists.
Oh, shit. All right. That's another point from me as well.
See, I'm going for an 8 because I forgot about the O thing.
All right, Dave, what you got?
So anybody who's walked down Utah Street.
Oh, I believe you mean Utah Street.
That's exactly what I did mean, Tim.
Would you like to know how it's spelled just for... we have a worldwide audience. Yeah. It is not spelled like you think it is. There's an E in it.
and a W.
Good old Frank Key's beautiful poem. Yeah.
Poem. We need a... poem. As long as we're getting grants, we need a grant from the Maryland state government because we are projecting Maryland culture across the world, hon. Eating crabs. Go ahead.
From the Inner Harbor all the way down to Pollock Johnny's, we're bringing Baltimore to you.
Which is not an insult for our Polish fans. That's really what it's called.
That's his name, and sausage is his game.
Right.
I want one with the Wakes.
There are 2 major meat companies in Baltimore, and they both work with the Maryland accent. There's Pollock Johnny's, and there's Roma.
Roma.
They both make
fried chicken.
They both make sausage, and they wish they also made half smokes, which you can get in DC, hon.
Yeah, I can't get.
All right,
that
go ahead with your point, whatever it was.
God, that's what we need to do, gentlemen. Podcast them down 95. Half smokes made out of Pollock Johnny's or Roma sausages. Your choice, consumer. All right. If you're walking down Utah Street, you might see little, what appear to be molten globs of metal that have fallen to earth, engraved with the names of heroes on the dates that they have slammed homers out of Camden Yards. I love it. I love it. I love being able to walk back there, and I think it's super cool. The O's are the only place in town that I can spend $10 to $15 and go see a professional sporting event. Like, blows my mind that in this day and age, I can do something so affordable and blue collar and American as go to a baseball game for less than it costs to fill my tank with gas. And
or park.
Yeah, nobody's going to bother you in the game.
Dude, so we're trying to get out to Camden Yards, and I'm looking very much forward to taking the light rail in so that I do get bothered by people.
Oh shit! All right, maybe that's our live.
That might be.
Maybe that's the next podcast. I'm down on location
on the light rail.
Yeah, do the light rail, do the whole game. I mean, not the whole game.
Amazing.
I like this. But ultimately, I think I have to agree with Doug here. The O's are going to get an 8 because of the greatest 8 of all time.
Oh,
Cal
shit.
Ripken
Oh,
Jr.
Fuck. Cal Ripken. Oh, my God.
Junior.
Cal Ripken Jr. Who played while his dad, Cal Ripken Sr. It's not a metal fact. It's just an O's fact. Yeah. I'm going to have to upgrade to an 8 as well.
Well, I mean, I
Because of
can't
the
not
Iron
be
Man.
an 8 now.
Right.
Yeah.
Iron Man. Oh,
I've got this.
I've never been to Ripken Stadium, by the way, which is where one of the minor league teams plays, which is called the Aberdeen Ironbirds.
Yeah.
So,
I drive by it all the time, but
Me
I've never
too.
seen a game there.
yeah,
Pretty
so
metal, though.
I think it's amazing that our objective scores all wound up to be 8. That's very impressive.
It's an objective system, man.
All right, are we ready to move on from Charm City?
That's if we must.
Yeah, if you have to.
We're also leaving the AL East. We're moving to American League Central, starting with the Chicago White Sox. So, Chicago has the violence. They also got a lot of meat. So, I think those are two metal things. But again, as we established, Sox are not metal. White Sox are particularly not metal because they haven't possibly been covered in blood like the Red Sox. But there's a lot of corruption in
money.
Chicago. What's that?
The Black Sox scandal.
Yeah. Where they gambled on what the players gambled on the games they were playing in. And then that's metal. That's metal. So I feel like there's a lot of strikes for and against. So because of that, right in the middle 5 until new data comes to light.
Well, he must have retired, but they used to have the greatest commentator ever. What was that guy's name?
Oh, that guy, Harry Carey, right?
It was something. He barely did play-by-play. Like, yep. Oh, man, he gone. That's a can of corn.
Yeah, so Harry Carey was the announcer
Harry
for the
Carey
White Sox from 1971 to 81, and then the Cubs 82 to 97.
It was named like the Hawk. Something.
So you're someone else.
Ken Harrelson, the Hawk.
Yeah, there we go. Where did they have a disco demolition night? Was that? I'll look that up. You go ahead.
It was Detroit, but
yeah, but there was also something with the Cubs and I think the White Sox. Well, one of them was 10-cent beer night. One of them was disco demolition night. They both basically devolved into riots.
Night.
So I got to look up. That was at Comiskey Park.
It was okay. Yeah, but it was at the climax of the event. A crate filled with disco records was blown up on the field between games of a twilight doubleheader between the White Sox and the Tigers.
That's pretty
Many
metal.
of those in attendance had come to see the explosion rather than the games and rushed onto the field after the demolition.
Right. They also stopped it. So you were supposed to bring, this is a whole episode in itself, but you were supposed to bring your records of disco so they could blow them up. But so many people brought them that they stopped accepting them. So people just had a record. So they'd start throwing them onto the field during the game like a Frisbee.
And it had everything to do with the dislike of the music. It absolutely nothing to do with bigotry or patriarchy or all that other stuff.
Just music.
Right.
The playing field was so damaged by the explosion and by the fans that the White Sox were required to forfeit the second game.
So the team,
Wow.
the team alone, the fans, with Disco Demolition Night, I think that bumps it up 2 points. That's just having that as part of your history. That's another couple of points. And were the White Sox the one who played at Wrigley, or was that the Cubs?
That's the Cubs.
That's the Cubs.
That's the Cubs.
And that's the Cubs. Oh, we'll get to that later. Yeah. It's not a great team. It's not a great logo. It's the second best Chicago baseball team. Demolition Disco Night is a plus in their favor. It's not a big flaw. I'll give them a 5.1.
Wait. There was a crater in the outfield because of the explosion of disco records. And you're
5.6.
saying it's not going to give them that much? Okay. All right.
That's just one. There's thousands of games. That's just one game.
They're a solid 7. There's the beauty, the sprawl, the violence of Chicago, the sordid history of the team, the fact that they lose a lot, nobody likes them.
Oh, but you know what? You're right, Doug. They're not fucking whiner crybabies. So they're going to be a 6.
It's an audio podcast, so no one can hear you nodding.
I liked it.
I was doing a little nod, and I think that I'm going to split the difference between what I was going to do, which is a straight 5, because I just don't care about the White Sox, and everybody's really well articulated points. I'm going to give my first decimal of the evening, 5.5 to the White Sox.
5.
Wow.
For being like slightly above median metal.
All right. Like it.
All right. Next, Cleveland Guardians. Cleveland, home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, home of the river that caught fire.
Yep.
You know, one's almost metal and one is certainly metal. Guardians could be metal.
Oh, Guardians absolutely is metal, and I'm going to tell you why.
Blind Guardian.
That's the reason. Whenever I hear Guardians, the next thing I think is Guardians of the Blind. From the Blind Guardian song, The Last Candle. Thought I was going to go.
That was a curveball. Baseball.
Guardian of the Blind. You got another thing coming. The second reason is because it's named for the Guardians that stand in a very epic fashion on the bridge entering the city.
I'm going to put a picture of one in the chat because it's
please.
fucking metal as fuck.
And it's just the word is it's totemic.
It is totemic.
Without, like the native connotation.
Whoa.
Wow. And also I just want to talk about
that's pretty metal.
That's like, I want to be clear about that. They did the best that they could to clean up their stained reputation.
What's better?
Unlike a certain other franchise I might mention that just arguably picked a worse name.
We have to update the NFL ratings. I just realized. So what's worse?
Yeah,
what's a worse rebranding? Guardians or Commanders?
Commanders.
Yeah, they don't fucking do anything. They sit at the back going, "Oh, you all die."
I feel like we need
holding
to
someone's
have
life in your hand is metal, though.
I think we need to have when the NFL season starts, we need to have a metal review length episode discussing that and updating the score.
Yes.
And that means we have to put the other names in the defunct teams list.
Oh, I want to do all the defunct teams we can find too.
Oh, that'll be great. I can't wait to do the Golden Seals.
Oh man. It's ice cream.
All right,
Mr. Snyder's very metal behavior.
It's very Manowar level behavior. Get out of here. I'm giving one final mention for other people to talk about.
Okay.
And that, before I submit my extremely objective score of 10,
what
the most metal team, I want you to think about 10-cent beer night.
Okay.
That was Cleveland.
That was Cleveland.
10.
And
Wait.
I will tell you what happened at the end of it.
Oh, I know what happened at the end of it.
The chief umpire declared the game to be forfeited in the Texas Rangers' favor due to the mob's uncontrollable behavior, according to the Wikipedia.
That's pretty.
Yeah, this is the Guardians. I can't wait to buy all the merch. Oh man! Since their name changed, Cleveland has got a 10 from me.
See, Dave is right about so much and wrong about so much because they had a 10 here. It was a home run to coin a phrase. But then they came out with that logo and whatever the insignia type, which I get is imitating the kind of 40s vibe of the Indian. It's terrible. Put the Guardian graphic on there.
Yeah, it's terrible.
The Cleveland's a metal place. The team is metal as hell. They somehow let Major League be made, which is a fantastic movie. the sort of the attitude of the Cleveland fans about their previous name and all that is not okay, but was pretty metal. Everything's going here.
Yeah.
It should be a 10, but then there's that logo.
Yeah.
Put the Guardian on traffic on there. It's a 10. Right now it's a 6.
Or at least make it a sword or something.
Doug is right. That logo is a swing and a miss.
Yeah, Tim. Where's the soundboard? Why don't we have applause for that?
It's over here. Here's your applause. All right. So you did 6, you did 10, I'm doing 8.
You did 6, you did 10, you did 8. I'm going to do 6.2. Before we leave Cleveland, though, I would like to read the end of the Wikipedia page. NBC newscaster Tim Russert, then a student at Cleveland Marshall College of Law, attended the game. I went with $2 in my pocket, recalled the Meet the Press host. You do the math.
That's pretty good. All right. Your Detroit Tigers.
Oh.
I'd say Tigers are metal, but they're kind of like new wave of British heavy metal. Thinking of Tigers of Pantang in particular with a Y.
Yep.
Y in Tigers. And I don't know, their logo's a big old D.
But it's like a gothic old English D.
Yeah, it's an old English D.
It's been their logo forever.
Yeah, yep.
You could stick that on a black metal album cover and it would fit right in.
You could. You very much could.
I don't know. I don't have too much to say about Detroit. It's it's violent. Unlike Toronto, it's not beautiful. The water can kill you. I know that's Flint, but same greater metro area. It's right up there against Canada, and Canada's looking down at them all the time. During the War of 1812, I believe I brought this up before. The Canadians conquered Detroit.
Yep.
And then gave it back to us. So, I'm gonna go with 6. No, 5. There's room for metalness, but other than the industrial blight and general decaying of the city, nothing about the baseball team is extremely metal, other than the tiger and the D and the refusal to change.
The name originated from the Detroit Light Guard military unit, who were known as the Tigers. They played significant roles in certain Civil War battles and in the 1898 Spanish-American War. Upon entry into the majors, the ball club sought and received formal permission from the Light Guard to use its trademark. That's pretty metal.
Which side of the Civil War did they fight for?
Well, they're pretty north there. They're Doug.
Gonna go with 5.1. The history gives it a 1/10 of a point.
I love Detroit. It's a beautiful city. Whatever it represents, the excesses of everything all at once. The great architect Albert Kahn, like, literally designed half the city. The downtown is stunning. It's got a lot of stunning architecture. Got things like Highland Park, which a city in a city to avoid paying taxes. It's got Detroit's horrible history, which is horrible, unfortunately, also because of that kind of metal. The Tigers themselves, they've been there. I do like how they saved the good uniform for home, then they wear that horrible one for away. They're not as metal as the Red Sox, but they are certainly, they're 6.5.
6.5. I like that. I will give them a 6.6, and that is actually 6.6 only because as I was searching around here, I found an image of RoboCop throwing out the first pitch at a Tigers game, and that's all I need for an extra 0.1.
Wow.
So yeah, too bad.
All right, cool. I also can't really see what there is to say that hasn't already been said. Their mascot looks a little bit doofy. If this tiger were a little bit more convincing,
If you want a more realistic tiger,
I want a more realistic tiger mascot.
How about just a tiger?
Just a real tiger? That would do it. There's a zoo
wandering around. Oh, there's a nice zoo.
Oh,
Detroit is a pretty good zoo.
They had George Brett. Wasn't he the guy who shot himself? I'm pretty sure.
George Brett Shat. Yep. First, George Brett shits his pants with subtitles.
Who was he playing for at the time? Because that might be the next team. That might actually be the next team. Oh yeah. He played for the. He played for Kansas City. So preview of what's coming up.
Yeah, it's the Royals. Yeah, it's the Royals.
Go ahead. You had a number, didn't you?
He said 5. He can't even talk.
You can't even talk. All right. Well, let's go.
El Cinco.
Yes, let's go right into the Kansas City Royals, home of George Brett.
I do have to call out the Detroit flag because whenever you wanted a flag, it's got it.
Detroit flag. Let's see what you got. See what you got, Detroit. Everything. There's lions. There's stars. There's stripes. There's fleur-de-lis. There's there's people. There's Latin. There's fire. What else?
Yep.
Is there? Is that the whole city on fire? I think that's what it is.
And that's not the Devil's Night fires that were a thing in the 80s or 90s. That's the original Detroit fire.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
I'm pretty sure the flag says sperm on it. All right.
And I do like how perfect the Wikipedia skyline page is, picture is of Detroit, getting the dystopian Renaissance tower.
The sad motto of Detroit is "We hope for better things. We will rise from the ashes."
That's pretty metal.
Wow.
I mean, that's metal as fuck.
One's kind of doom metal, and then one's death doom. Anyway, you were saying, Tim.
So the Kansas City Royals is next. George Brett pooped his pants during a game. That happened. So there's two kinds of like royalty. You know, it seems there's like the British royal family, which is not metal, and you describe them as the royals, and then there's like, you know,
the kind you find in Kansas.
The kind you find in power metal. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And this is not the metal kind of royalty. This is like rich people wasting taxpayers' money to go stay in a castle in Scotland for a few months. You know, it's not very metal. Kansas City Royals, they could have gone all in, but instead they just pooped their pants. So that's going to be a 2 from me.
I'm challenging Tim's score. Tim, take a look at their logo.
Oh, which one?
Like
This logo that's on
King logo.
Oh, the logo that's on the little powder blue uniform? Is that the one you mean?
No, I mean the team logo. But I guess they don't. It must be on the shoulder patch or something.
Yeah, this is absolutely the Burger King logo. You're not helping. It says KC on it. Is that their barbecue sauce?
that looks like
who gives a fuck?
That looks like a brand of beans. Like Royals baked beans.
It's true. I think when I see the Kansas City Royals logo, I think high quality Pennsylvania made potato chips.
Oh yeah, okay. I could see that too. Or like or potato rolls.
Oh yeah. Some of the rival Martins or Sprouts.
Yeah.
There's a section in the franchise history on Wikipedia called Rock Bottom 2004 to 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty metal. To own your lowest point like that, just put it out there on the wiki.
Yeah, but I will still not be updating my score.
Oh, I don't think you need to.
Oh, bullshit. The name Royals pays homage to the American Royal Livestock Show.
Yo.
Oh, that's a plus.
Historic is rivalries. The Cardinals. That's it. They're rivals with an amazing team.
And they play in the wrong Kansas City.
Yeah. No, that's true too.
Yeah, there are 2.
There are 2. I mean, I'm really trying to find a way to get jazzed up. Their mascot is, I guess, a lion who has had his skull cap removed and replaced with a crown. And I have no idea where his brain is supposed to be. So that's a little metal. This like disfigurement thing. But that's it. I mean, the powder blue and it's not great.
Yeah. Not great at all. I'm giving it a 2 as well.
Wow.
Straight.
They just come up to Camden Yards in the doldrums of the Orioles' abilities in the late 90s. We had traded Mike Messina to the Yankees. Cal had retired. Brady Anderson was done.
I believe you mean Cal retired.
Cal retired to go coach at Ripken Stadium in Aberdeen.
Aberdeen.
The Royals were the only team that I could reliably count on to give up a series. Not alone a win, but like a full 3-game series to the O's at Camden Yards. And that's just not very metal to be like the reliable loser. Yeah. And that's my enduring impression of them from my childhood.
That's fair.
We got a lot of 2s, so here's another 2s. Minnesota Twins. See what I did there? Minnesota Twins. Because I guess the Twin Cities?
Twin Cities.
That's right. Minneapolis,
and I guess,
St. Paul.
I guess that's why we're going to give them a pass on the not a city, but a state thing. Maybe.
2 cities.
Yeah.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but no one cares about you, Minnesota Twins. You're just as boring as the Royals. You just didn't have any potential to blow. So, given the fact that there wasn't wasted potential like there was with the Royals, and no one pooped their pants, I'm going to go with a 3.
They used to be the Senators.
The Washington Senators.
Is it a pro or a con that they stole Dave's team?
I mean, they were a fucking metal team, the Senators, but we won't be talking about them today. Their logo is confusing.
The name's too cute.
Name's too cute. They're just generic. You know, if I wanted a generic baseball team and the Minnesota Twins showed up, I'd be like, perfect. No one knows who's on you. No one knows if you ever won anything, but it's clear you're a baseball team. And that's why, actually, I think at least the storied history of the Kansas City Royals is a plus. So I'm going to give them a 1.5.
Right. And I could just be stupid, but what's the horseshoe for in their logo?
It's a C. It's a Twin City.
Oh, they're a one. That's just
yeah.
You put a T on there, or no, that's not okay.
It's garbage.
So, of all of the baseball movies that have been made about various baseball franchises,
This is Rookie of the Year.
there was, yeah,
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
that one. Wasn't this the one where the kid gets left the baseball team in his?
Rookie of the Year is when he gets his arm hurt and it heals too tight and becomes a major league pitcher.
Is that Funky Butt Lovin'?
Yeah. Oh, did he just say Funky Butt Lovin'?
It wasn't Rookie of the Year. What the hell was it called? I think it was called Little Big League.
Okay, so let's see.
Maybe.
Rookie of the Year was the Cubs. Okay, so remember that for later. And then Little Big League was the Minnesota Twins. You're right.
Tim.
A 12-year-old who suddenly becomes the owner and then manager of the Minnesota Twins. It stars Luke Edwards, Timothy Busfield, and Dennis Farina.
Oh, it was great. Tim, do you remember Matt, you probably remember this too, the Dollar Theater up at Aspen Hill?
I sure
hell
do.
Yeah.
Man, I went there for my birthday. I guess it would have been my 8th birthday to see Little Big League. You know what's more metal than a kid's 8th birthday party at the Dollar Theater?
Vomiting popcorn?
Pretty much everything. Like pretty much everything is more metal than the Minnesota Twins.
Oh.
Now, I will relay a personal anecdote, another one related to the Twins, and it's that I got to see them play in their final season at the Metrodome.
That's cool.
It was fun. I have several
Who
photos.
are you trying to convince? Also you.
It was probably antiquated and decaying, which is kind of metal.
Yeah, it was the experience of being in an end-of-life stadium. I cherish that sort of stuff. I love old, like, massive public spaces that the infrastructure is just really just hanging on by a thread.
And that's why we went to the Parthenon.
I'm talking about like when Michelle and I saw a concert at RFK Stadium in the last like 5-10 years.
I've been there with these guys.
Yeah.
We
Beautiful
saw the
stadium.
DC United there.
Oh,
I love
beautiful.
it. Yeah.
The jewel of federal parkland in our nation's capital. Did I already give my 2 score? Because it's the 2 for the Twins.
No.
Thank Christ. Oh, hey.
I'm going to raise my score to 2 because I feel bad about questioning Dave's allegiance to the Orioles.
I'm going to lower mine to a 1.3 because I'm upset with Doug for questioning himself.
It's not metal, and it's not metal to feel.
Okay.
Unlike the rest of you, I'm right the first time, so I'm leaving my score as is.
Here's the reason they have a TC logo, Doug.
Twin Cities.
No. It gets better. Apparently, they originally wanted an M, but all the St. Paul people were butthurt because they thought it meant Minneapolis.
Oh, that's
false grievance. Oh, yeah.
All right.
I do like how Tim gave them a 3.
Yeah.
I explained why, and I stand by it. And if you don't like it, you can rewind and listen to it again, because I'm just going to say it verbatim again, and I'm not going to waste our time.
This 3 can stand, and people can look at it and say, wow. He gave the Twins a 3.
He took a stand.
Just to continue to fuck with Tim, I'm changing mine to a 1.1.
I'm not going to change the score. I don't know what,
All right,
what
that's
this
your choice.
pressure bullshit of yours is.
That's your right to be wrong.
It's your wrong to wait. You know, you're just stalling because you don't want to talk about the Astros.
Oh.
All right. American League West. We're done with Central. We're moving.
Okay.
We're moving west. So west from Minnesota, obviously, is the town of Houston in Texas.
I'm pretty sure that's east of Minnesota.
Shit town, shit name, shit concept, shit colors. Everything about the Houston Astros is terrible. They should be a 1, but they cheated and won a World Series. So that's metal as fuck. So if you don't know, they they stole signs. So they set it up so they knew what the catcher was signing, so they could tell the pitcher when to swing. The batter, I'm sorry. So for the opposing teams, they'd see what the catcher was signing, and they'd see what the pitch was about to be, and then they'd let the batter know, the Houston Astros batter, whether he should swing or not. And they did so by banging a trash can in the dugout. So if you heard the banging, it was a pitch to swing on.
Okay.
And did I mention they won a World Series while cheating?
Well, I mean, that's one more World Series than you won while cheating.
Yeah, so I didn't cheat. So it should be a 1, but it's not a 1, and it's because it's a 2, just like the Minnesota Twins, which also gets a 2.
So I need to correct myself. Even though that's not metal, but I feel like persistence is metal. Houston is slightly west of Minneapolis.
so it works.
Slightly west. By like less than 100 miles. But it's close. It's close. Houston. All right. Well, Houston's a metal city. The Astros are cheaters. That's true. But they like orange. Orange is a pretty metal color. Everyone hates them. That's pretty metal. I don't like the star. They used to be the Colt 45s. Fuck yeah. But they changed it to the Astros. AstroTurf, yeah, there are 2.
Gosh, my analysis is very similar to Matt's, but somehow I end up with the correct score of 6. What do the Astros represent? Playing God in multiple ways.
Wow.
Name, the stadium, the cheating, the hate, the amazing color scheme.
Did you mention the Astrodome? Did you mention the Astrodome?
I
did. I was getting at that, yeah.
Yeah.
They were playing God. I would have loved to have gone there before they tore it down. Houston's a fun city.
Well, a lot of people went there before they tore it down, but against their will.
Whoa.
Tim transgressed.
Yeah, that's pretty transgressive.
Stand by it. Just like I stand by my Minnesota Twins score.
But the H is terrible, and the way there's like shadow effects, like in that like, okay, how do you do that in stitches? Like, so yeah, it's a 5 actually.
Which is sad because like in the 70s and 80s, they had that really metal, like orange and black stripe shirt going on, which itself was pretty metal, but I don't think the new uniforms are very metal. The H star just looks stupid.
Boy, it sure does. I don't know. I'm hard pressed to give this much more than a 1.6.
Dave with the fractions again.
Yeah, he's a fractional guy.
I was looking at this. Says live, love Astros. No, thank you. Yeah, I got nothing more than that. Everybody's made very cogent points. The cheating. Oh, the cheating, the dishonor. Choosing a trash can lid to bang on like you're playing bonus tracks for Saint Anger.
Oh,
what are you guys thinking?
Oh, wait, I got that. There it is. That's how they cheated. Right there. I'll swing on this one.
That's a good next time someone plays the Astros, they should just play Saint Anger tracks.
I love it.
They're like, we don't know what's going on.
I love it. All right. Seattle Mariners. I hear the word Mariner. I think Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. Great song by Iron Maiden back when they were still good. It's the
I think we just lost 25% of our audience. But
oh, well. Go listen to Fear of the Dark and go fuck yourself. The insignia and the logo both have compass roses on it, but it's a baseball, you see, because they're Mariners.
Yeah.
They play baseball. Yeah. I don't know. I like it. It's all like darkened colors.
Please note their 70s and 80s logos.
Yes, thank you, Doug.
Oh, I got to see these.
That's a much metaler logo.
Oh, hell yeah. What the hell?
Yeah.
Why'd they abandon that? Yeah,
it was a big trident with M.
Oh yeah, I suppose it should be
explained.
Described. Yeah, it's a trident pointing down to form an M.
So it's crushing you.
As if it's being driven into your torso. So their mascot is the Mariner Moose. What do mooses have to do with it? So yeah, this is unfocused. It doesn't quite make sense.
It could have been like Orky the killer whale or something.
Yeah, but it's got to be at least 3 times as metal as the Astros. But I won't give them the benefit of that doubt. I'm going to give them a 5.
Yeah, Seattle in and of itself is not a very metal town.
It's more of a grunge town, as we know.
Yeah, grunge. People are generally pretty happy there, apart from the bad weather. Well, depending on your taste.
Why they drink all that coffee?
Yeah. I'd be hard pressed to rate the Mariners any more metal than 4. I was a big fan back in the day. I loved Ken Griffey Jr. And I was a big fan of their logo. The Mariners were my West Coast team. But and this is something I struggle with whenever we do one of these things. Personal preference does not a metal team make.
Certainly does not.
Yeah, it's tricky though, because awareness of that fact may not be metal.
Yeah, introspection is not the most metal, unless, of course, it's, coupled with despair. In which case it's super metal. But yeah, Mariners get a 4 from me.
All right. Yeah, I agree. They're not a 5. 4 is fine.
Personally, I'm baffled by that 5. They get a 4.
Yeah.
Well, let's just move on then. That 5 is staying. Just like my 2. Oakland Athletics. You're baseball players, of course. You're at least a little bit athletic. I do like the prevalence of fat guys in in baseball. Though.
Yep.
You only have to run to the base. Yeah, Oakland Athletics. They famously a stingy owner.
Yeah,
and so they managed to do very well using math and statistics to choose the right players who were undervalued. All these are very prog things to do. They're not metal things to do.
Was Jose Canseco's steroid stuff when he was an A?
Oh, that's a good question.
I always think of him as an A, but maybe that was later.
That was the Yankees. Yeah, their owner famously wanted the players to be able to see the ball better. So he suggested they have orange balls. Change the balls to orange. And then the same owner owned the California Golden Seals. And you'll never guess what his suggestion to make hockey better to watch on TV was.
I know.
Orange puck. So this guy has no ideas. Actually has exactly one idea that he applies to everything. So, is any of that metal? No. There are 3. 2 points less than the Mariners at 5. You thought I was going to change it.
I did. I really did.
My score stays empty because they're one better than the Giants.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna make a note. So actually, wow, I can do this. So I'm
just
gonna
write the formula. Yeah.
Yeah, I can equals. Okay.
Whatever.
All right.
1.
So that will
good.
that'll be determined later. I mean, I like Oakland as a place. I think athletics is like the bottom barrel thing you can call a sports team. It's like, well, they're the athletes. I'm not even. I like green. The green is cool. I don't like the apostrophe S. They have an elephant for a mascot. That's pretty cool. Stomper. So that's gonna be.
You lost me with elephant, but then you had me back again when it was Stomper because you never know what he's stomping on. Maybe it's posers.
Stomper has performed at several All-Star games and appeared in a public service announcement discouraging the use of chewing tobacco because he's an elephant, you see, and that would just be too expensive. Okay, so that's fun and cute. I'm gonna give him a 3. They're more metal than the Astros. They're slightly less metal than the Mariners, I guess.
Tim, what was the name of Bart's elephant that he wanted to keep as a pet?
Why, that was Stampy. Close to Stompy, yeah.
Close to Stomper.
I'm trying to find a picture of this goddamn elephant.
Oh boy!
Check Frinkiac.
It's a.
Oh, you're looking for Stomper, not Stampy.
Not looking for Stampy. I know what Stampy looks like.
What's your number, Dave? By which I mean score, not phone number.
My phone number is 3.
And your score.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. That was my score for the Oakland Athletics. I assume, I'm not going to do any research, that the athletic portion of the Oakland Athletics name is just a truncated, longer name of the Oakland Athletic Club. But I don't know this. History is fairly metal. Tradition is strongly metal. But the Bay Area, not so metal. 3.
All right, next up. We only got 2 left.
2 to go.
Oh, no.
The Los Angeles Angels. So it was a surprise to me. This shows you how out of touch I am with the AL West. When did they move from Anaheim?
They didn't move.
They just changed the name?
Yeah. They de-Disneyfied.
Oh, okay. So Los Angeles Angels, the thing that comes to mind was I remember that they used to have a one-handed pitcher. I forgot the guy's name, but basically he would put the glove like this onto his non-pitching hand, then he'd pitch and put the glove on in case he had to field it. Right? And that's metal as fuck right there.
Oh, yeah.
But angels aren't metal unless they're like cursed. They could be power metal angels. That might work.
These are regular ass angels.
Angel of Death.
The Gene Autry was the first owner.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
thinking cowboy.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Maybe. So but you can't insult them by giving them the same score as the Oakland A's. So it's going to be a 4 from me.
I got to stick with Tim. I'm going to give this a 4 as well. For the sole reason that the Los Angeles Angels of California, because they were at the time the California Angels.
Yeah, they were the California Angels for a while too.
I remember
They
that
made
too. Yeah, they
The
can't
timeless
decide.
the timeless classic Angels in the Outfield was filmed sometime in the early 90s, and boy oh boy, Danny Glover, when he yelled at that team, when he yelled and screamed and told them that they had their heads so far up their butts they couldn't see the light of day, it made an impression. And being able to get up there in front of a group of guys and yell at them and tell them that their heads are in their butts, man, that takes an element of dedicated metalness that you don't see out of every fictional movie coach for an MLB club.
They retired Gene Autry's number. It was 26.
Why did he even have a number?
Oh, because baseball, like the coaches and owners get a number for no reason.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
not that I wasn't listening to a word you said.
No, that's okay. I'm just amazed that the Walt Disney Corporation didn't take control of the team until 1997.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
thought that the mouse would have consolidated control of the multi-channel entertainment.
They probably had to wait a couple years after buying the Mighty Ducks.
They had their Anaheim empire to consider.
They're like, let's move our way up the sports.
They get credit for how retrograde and miserable their stadium is.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing around it but parking.
Oh shit, we should probably go.
Yeah, it's a good time. And
when we do our
County
podcast them down west live on location.
Ooh.
We got to go to an Angels game, I think. Unless they move stadiums, then we'll find something else to do. Also, Bakersfield Condors. So we got to go in that slim part of the year when the baseball season overlaps the hockey season.
We'll do it.
Well, let's see. Orange County is the home of reactionary thought confused for principle. That's pretty metal.
God damn. I could not imagine a more succinct
Wow.
delivery.
That just bumped me up to a 2.5.
Yeah, they were going to get a low score, but I think they are a 4 for the behavior of folks in the OC for the last 60 years.
Wow.
That was... I need to find the applause for that. There we go. All right. Rounding out the AL West and the last American League team, the Texas Rangers. I think we discussed at length several issues with a team such as the Texas Rangers. They're named after the whole state, which we don't like. Where are you based? I don't know. Texas, you can drive 14 hours in one direction and still be in Texas. They have undeserved pride, and they're Rangers. They're named after law enforcement. Law enforcement isn't metal unless it's like draconian law enforcement. I know that's the second time I've used that word, but like RoboCop is metal, but Constable Lewis is not metal, So, but yeah, the undeserved pride and arrogance is metal, but I don't like it. I'm going with 4 for now, though.
So the Texas Rangers are also the Washington Senators. So after the Washington Senators moved to Minnesota, the MLB in its infinite wisdom gave Washington another Senators team, and then this team moved to Dallas. So there's that. They're a Texas team. Their logo's a T. I guess Texas Rangers are a thing. It's just so uninspired. It's just, again, it's like
someone came in thinking it was a brilliant original idea. They're like, yeah. We got no identity of our own. Sure, let's call it.
Like their mascot's a horse. I can't. They're nothing. They're worse than the Astros. The Astros is the better Texas baseball team. I gotta give them a 1.
Ugh. Yeah, right? God, when you put it like that they're worse than the Astros and the Astros are better. Ugh. Didn't Nolan Ryan pitch for the Rangers?
I believe he did.
I think he did, yeah.
Well, that's 1 right there. Because any guy who's going to walk around with the name Nolan and then be like the most dominant pitcher of his generation conveys a certain earned arrogance that I guess the Rangers can lay claim to. But beyond this, the baseball cap wearing a freaking 10-gallon hat, the logo. My goodness, heavens! I'm sticking with 1. But I can't say too much more about this.
He also played for the Astros.
You all make very good points, so I'm going to adjust my score from a 4 to a 0.
What was Dave's score at 1, right?
That's a 1. God, I prefer the New York Rangers to the Texas Rangers. Ugh.
And those Rangers sucks.
Ugh, they do sucks.
Yeah, independent of everything said, I already gave him a 1.
All right.
Wow.
Well, that rounds up the American League. So at the moment, pending the score for the Giants, which might affect the standings a little bit for the Athletics. Here's the ranking from most metal to least metal of the American League for now. Baltimore Orioles, Cleveland Guardians, New York Yankees, Chicago White Sox, Detroit Tigers, Boston Red Sox, Seattle Mariners, Toronto Blue Jays, Los Angeles Angels, Tampa Bay Rays, Houston Astros, bunch of cheaters, Oakland Athletics, Kansas City Royals, Minnesota Twins, and of course, the Texas Rangers. So tune in next time when we do the National League and we determine if anyone is possibly more metal than the fucking Baltimore Orioles. The best team in town, hon. All right, any closing words? Didn't think so. Until next time. Bang a trash can or something?
Man, I can't wait to score the Braves.